What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're diving into the KV9, better known as the Vector, and this thing is an absolute monster. The KV9 has the highest rate of fire in the entire game with 1080 rounds per minute. It literally melts enemies before they even realize what hit them. But funny enough, it also has one of the smallest mag sizes in the game, just 17 rounds by default. After grinding and finally maxing out the KV9, it has honestly become my favorite submachine gun in Battlefield 6. With smart positioning and good timing, you can absolutely dominate with this weapon. The rate of fire is so insane that it genuinely feels like you kill enemies in one frame. Now let's talk about the obvious weakness, the tiny mag. You literally empty the mag in under a second, about 0.9 seconds to be exact, and then you're stuck doing a full reload. And the reload speed isn't even that quick compared to the other SMGs. Naturally, you think of a solution is an extended mag, but here's the catch. It only goes up to 27 rounds, which still isn't much, and it costs a whopping 45 attachment points. So, is it worth grinding for? Well, I tested everything, and after a ton of trial and error, I found what I generally believe is the best possible build for the KV9. And unlike most of my videos where I show two builds, this time I just got one, because nothing else came close. Every attachment on the setup has a purpose, and together they create a build that fits this weapon's unique high skill playstyle perfectly. Now let's talk about how actually to play with the KV9. Because this weapon isn't for everyone, it's what I call a skill cannon. Positioning is everything. You need to pick your fights carefully and time your reloads perfectly. With good accuracy, you can kill 2 enemies per mag, and it gets even easier when you unlock the 23 round extended mag. What might surprise you is that the KV9 actually benefits from a semi-defensive playstyle. If you try to rush multiple enemies at once, you'll probably get 1 kill and die right after. Instead, hold smart positions and let enemies come to you. Your secondary weapon is crucial too. I've been using the M44 revolver, and it pairs perfectly with the KV9. It's a 2-shot kill, which makes it great for finishing enemies when you run out of bullets. While the KV9 is definitely a close range weapon, you can actually use it beyond 20 meters if you tap fire, but only if the target is stationary and hasn't spotted you. Otherwise, try and stay within 20 meters and avoid being out in the open. That's where the gun struggles the most. Stick to buildings, tight corridors, and close quarter areas, and you'll absolutely destroy anyone who walks into your range. So the final thoughts before the build. So overall, the KV9 is a high risk, high reward weapon. It takes a bit of discipline and awareness to use effectively, but once you master it, it's one of the most satisfying and fast killing SMGs in the entire game. Now the moment you've been waiting for, the build. You guys are going to love this setup, and best part is you don't need to max out the level. The TR-7 is probably one of my favorite weapons to use in Battlefield 6. Check how fast this thing kills. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're taking a closer look at one of my absolute favorite weapons in Battlefield 6, the TR-7. This gun is an absolute monster when used right, and after spending a ton of time testing different attachments and builds, I can confidently say I found the best possible setup for it. I've got one build only for you today. It focuses on reducing recoil as much as possible while keeping the aggressive, fast-paced playstyle this gun is built for. The TR-7 is a bullpup assault rifle that hits incredibly hard and fires insanely fast. It actually has the fastest time to kill of any assault rifle in the game, past 9.5 meters, and even at point blank range it's still one of the quickest killing guns overall. The raw power that makes it an absolute beast in close range fights, but it comes with a big catch. This gun has one of the worst recoil patterns in the entire AR category, and if you don't build around that, you'll lose control fast. So the strengths of the TR-7. It does have the fastest TTK in the AR category. This thing melts people before they can even react. It dominates close quarters and mid-range fights if you can't handle the recoil. And it is extremely rewarding for skilled players who can manage its kick, the aim discipline, and the low mag size when you start off using this weapon. Once you get used to how it behaves, it feels unbelievably strong. That combination of damage and fire rate can wipe squads in seconds. The weaknesses of this weapon. It has high recoil and spread. If you just hold down the trigger, the gun climbs like crazy. It struggles at long range. The recoil and blue make it too inconsistent to beam people from far away, and it requires control and positioning. You can't just run and spray this gun across the map. You have to be smart about when to time your reload, when to engage in gunfights, and how many people you're going to be able to kill with one mag. So this is how to use the TR-7. This weapon is all about playing aggressively and controlling your fights. Stick to close to medium range, use cover to your advantage, and rely on your movement speed to get close with this gun shines. At anything beyond 40 meters, you want to tap fire or burst fire. That's the key to keeping your shots accurate. The recoil is wild, but once you get used to it, you'll see how satisfying this gun is to master. You'll notice in the gameplay in the background, I use it very aggressively, constantly pushing objectives and flanking enemies. That's exactly how you should play the TR-7. Fast, confident, and always in motion, but you have to be aware you need to be able to reload this gun quite often. So this build is focusing on reducing recoil as much as possible without sacrificing the insane time to kill that makes this gun so deadly. It keeps the gun steady enough to use those fights fast, but still lets you take advantage of the high rate of fire and damage output. It's honestly the most fun I've had with AR in this game. Once you get the rhythm down, the TR-7 can easily be one of the strongest weapons in Battlefield 6, and easily one of the most underrated too. So the final thoughts. The TR-7 is a high risk, high reward weapon. It's not easy to control, but if you put time to learn manage the recoil, you completely dominate close range fights and still hold your own at medium range. It's fast, powerful, and insanely satisfying once you master it. If you enjoy these kinds of weapon builds and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're dropping a ton of guides for the Battlefield 6 if you don't want to miss them. Now let's get into the TR-7 build.